it, bro. I'm gonna go back to the Discord. I want to hear what people thought. Yo, what y'all thought about that, man? What y'all think about that? I know y'all in here. What did y'all think about the clip I just played? Hold on, I got
that shit was funny as fuck, bro.
Bro,
I think they could have.
That shit had me crying, bro.
the cock is doing you know it.
That's the type of nigga you never want to get in an argument with, bro.
That nigga said the
I'm not gonna hold you, bro. He was really talking about like you should love this and only this. Like, bro, I love every
where do
type
y'all
of woman,
fall on
bro.
that discussion though? Where y'all fall on that discussion?
Right, bro.
Like who do you think was like tweaking, or who do you think had points?
Yo, act.
Nah, I fuck with Fresh and Fit, bro.
Fresh and Fit ain't have no points.
Nah, Fresh and Fit had no. Nah, I fuck with them, but not on this. Not on this
They was
topic.
getting roasted. They was getting roasted the whole time. They got this
Yo, they was getting
black nigga look like he hang out with Dr. Umar and Philly,
Yo, I ain't gonna
trying
lie.
to get a school bill asking for donations.
That nigga was like Dr. Umar like 2.0, man. That nigga was like dentist.
Nah, but he just being racist, bro.
Nah, for real.
He called that nigga fresh bacon.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Who said who was being racist?
The preacher dude, he turned racist to
preacher dude. Yeah, niggas being racist, bro.
Okay, but wait, hold on. Y'all can't bring that up because the point that's some stupid thing to bring up when we talking about a conversation of two black men talking bad about black women. Y'all sound stupid as fuck. Y'all sound like
they both in the wrong, bro. Nah, they both in the wrong. Like they just
because that's furthering the same thing Fresh was saying. He said, "Oh, you black, hella ugly." You feel me? That's the same thing Fresh was saying.
Yeah, no. I'll say this. And I see this conversation happen so much, and I feel like by the way, ever since this happened, man, you could ask Fresh, bro. I called him. I've spoke to him for like so long in terms of like just basically saying, hey, listen, bro, I was born in Jamaica. I wasn't born in the United States. It took me a while, and it took a lot of understanding, research, conversation, and understanding to really understand other people's point of view, because you sometimes when you come from a country that's not the United States, even if it's from an island, you have a disregard for certain things, or some things you think that doesn't apply to you. But when we're all here, we're all black. It doesn't matter where you're from. And I told him, I said, listen, stay away from race. I said, you guys are, and I said this before, I said, you guys talk about relationships, whatever you guys' opinions on relationships, that's what you think. But this is really complex. So, with that being said, and what homie was talking about, like the Shabazz blah blah guy, right? He has a lot of points. He has a lot of points, by the way. And by the way, I think even the far great, because I watched pretty much the entire broadcast. He has a lot of points. Here's the point where that Shabazz guy loses a lot of people. There's been this whole thing that says black people just can't be racist. But like in trying to gain racial equality and also in trying to check other black people about having some racial pride, you can't be fucking, disrespectful or doing the same things to other races that you are trying to preach that shouldn't be done to yours. You get me?
Exactly.
So like,
that's facts.
I feel like
his message to Fresh,
I highly disagree with that.
Now his message to Fresh was diluted by how he brought the message across.
Yeah, I don't think black people can be racist to white folks, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
No, hold on. Well, even if you don't call it,
man, it is possible, man.
Even if you don't call it racism, right? Because and by the way, I understand that term. That term, when people say black people can't be racism, it's because they have now said that racism is almost an act, and you need to have some type of power, or it's usually something that's systemic, and black people can't enact that. However, here's what I'm saying. True. Forget racism, it's hate. Listen, if you're trying to preach for acceptance, you can't. It's like the people who are feminists who say, "Oh, we just want female rights," but then they basically say niggas ain't shit or men ain't shit, because they turn their plight into waging war against somebody else. So, as much as I think that dude, the Shabazz dude, I think there's some valuable points that he could actually bring forward to maybe try to enlighten, Fresh and Myron. And by the way, here's my opinion on the whole thing.
You got a niche delivery. That's it.
Here's my opinion on the whole thing. I don't think I've said this before. My opinion on the whole thing, and so we're off the Asian doll thing to center, right? So we're just talking about what their comments was on black women and their preference. So preference is one thing, right? I could say I prefer women over 7 foot that's Asian, right? That's my preference. I think they went about it wrong. And even though
you can't name calling out a preference.
They just wanted to disrespect.
Hold on. Hold on. I'm taking everything into context. Because I've heard, when people challenge them on that, they say, well, we were asked about a specific topic that included a website called Blacked. So that's the only reason why we only address Black.
Keep it a bean. How many shakusas you met in your life, bro?
Hold on. We'll talk about it. Keep that point. We're going to talk about it. So for me, your preference could be whatever you want. I think when it comes to stereotypes is going to be taken differently, especially when we talk about black people, because stereotypes has been used to not only in a prejudicial way against black people, but it's used to honestly violently against black people in history. So like you have to be careful. And I think that's what I was telling Fresh. I said, yo, listen, this is outside the scope of what y'all want to talk about. What y'all do, like, no disrespect to what they do. It's self-help and it's a lot of, life help for dudes. But when it comes to some of these shows, it's a bit like, it's entertainment. It's like kind of what I do in a sense. Like, if somebody compare what I do, hold on one second. I'm going to get to it. If somebody compare what I do on my streams as like, it's kind of Jerry Springer-esque, I can't be mad at it because a lot of it's entertainment. A lot of what they do is entertainment. So I advise Fresh, I said, listen, the depths and the levels of conversations that you would need to get to properly address just shrugging off or disrespecting. And by the way, and I don't know if that was your point that you were trying to hold, but to say they're not your preference is one thing. To basically use a stereotype and use terms like night riders, this and third, that then becomes, now you're going on the attack. You get me? So it's not like saying, oh, my preference is something else. Like, I guarantee if they said, like, yo, my preference is Asian people, Shade Room doesn't care. They don't care. It's only when you describe black women as ratchet, this and third, and then call them names like night riders, this and third. And for everybody who might be here, like, Fresh and Fit, those are my niggas. But I think, they were trying to make a joke. I think what they should be more cautious of is like when you're dealing with, and I know Myron says this a lot, like, yo, I make jokes at everybody. Well, when you're dealing with especially the black population, the black people in the United States have gone through what no other race, no other sect, no other culture, whatever you might call it, has ever gone through. You have to have some type of tact. So you can't be like, oh, because we do it to everybody else, we could do it to black people. You know what I mean? With all due respect for the people who are Asian, 2 of them get snuffed out. You know what I mean? And I'm talking tongue in cheek. A few of them get snuffed out. It's protect our Asian people, and they're gonna get a bunch of laws that protect them. When black people are being lynched, a lot of prejudicial things were happening that were obviously not in favor of us. Again, I was born in Jamaica, so I'm not that familiar with it, but learning about it, you realize that there was nobody coming to the help of black people. So I learned to empathize with that. That's why I tell Fresh, I said, bro, stay away from this shit. This is way deeper than you could ever think. That
nigga's a coon, bro.
Well, I won't simplify it to say that. I think that's a simplistic way of saying it without.
We want to break it down more complicated. Then let me break it down more complicated. All right. Both of these niggas are 2 niggas who did everything that they thought they needed to do to be a dope nigga, and then still realized that they wasn't getting bitches, so they went and did weird shit.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. This nigga Myron's the same nigga that sent another nigga a resume about how many bitches he's fucking and how to get more bitches.
Okay.
And this is the niggas that niggas.
Wow.
All right, hold
That's
on.
fact. That's facts. Wait. And let's be
I
real,
hear what
bro.
you're saying, but
That nigga's one step away from being a weirdo that could be classified into some other shit. When you got a whole resume, you got a whole spiel of how you approach women. It gets kind of creepy if you really break it down.
Okay, but you're still speaking to their personality. You're not speaking on race. Like if you want to speak to their personality, we could do that.
Okay, let's speak to the person. I think that's personality and race within this conversation is very important because if you look.
Well, if it's a race conversation, I think that's their approach with women. I don't give a fuck about the woman part. I'm just talking about what I understand. And the reason why I have a conversation like that with Fresh, because I know many people who come from the islands, we don't understand sometimes the plight of.
We're not even really talking about Fresh in this one. This one's about because Fresh is the beta male. Let's be real. We're not really talking about him. We're talking about Myron, the real problematic one. Myron.
Well, both of them have the same sentiment in terms of preference, and both of them agreed with what might be just a joke.
Question. Neither one of them stated a preference. They stated what they dislike and what they do, what does not qualify for them.
Okay,
that's not a preference.
Okay, no, I'm agreeing, and I think that's where the correction to them should be. You know,
but they're not open to correction. They're not open to understanding because another problem I have is that most of the type of females that they bring on that show idolize black women, whether they're black or not.
Well, I'm not sure if they're not open to correction. I think here's the thing, and allow me to explain. When people are attacked, you get me, or when people feel attacked, I think if people were saying, "Yo, listen, bro, listen," because their whole defense is preference. I think the conversation that needs to be had with them, and the conversation I have with them is like, "Yo, bro, you could like anyone you want. It's fine. You just can't name call, especially black women, especially because of historical situations where those things are much more damaging than if you were to name call another race because they've never been through these things historically, at least in the United States." I think that's where it is.
What's even more crazy on top of that is that they try to make it seem like black women's not the audience. Then why did you have a black woman on your show in the first place?
Well, hold on, wait. Okay, I'm glad you're saying this. I don't think black women are their audience.
I know they're not, but then why do you have?
I don't think black people are their audience at all. That's why I had a conversation. Me and my man Van Lathan, we had a conversation about them. I said to Van, Van, here's the reason why all this cancellation shit's not gonna affect them. Their main audience is not on Shade Room. Shade Room is up in arms, but the people on Shade Room just found out about him. So I said to them, I said, listen, you know, I obviously have to take a different route because, you know, I'm with a company who has to care about everybody, right? These guys, they're pretty much independent, and unless they're, and I talked to them today about it. I said, listen, you do realize when niggas because they're doubling down. I ain't gonna lie. I said to them, I said, when niggas realize that they can't they can't hold y'all accountable somehow, the only other way they're gonna get at you is trying to approach deplatforming.
Man, I say flag all their content as hate speech. Fuck them.
Nah, that's
fucked up. No, wait. But that's where I told him today. I did tell him that. Because that becomes, when people realize you don't have no sponsors for them to get at, they'd feel like you're doubling down. And for a lot of people, they feel like you're thumbing your nose saying, like, you know, I watched the live. It was pretty entertaining. You know, I told him, I said, listen, your audience is going to rock with you more than ever. You know why? Y'all niggas really don't bend and don't fold. But here's the thing. For everybody else who's watching, they're now getting more and more frustrated. Because they feel like everything that, you know, they've worked for or this whole protect black women movement, it now is gone to nil. So the next step, they're going to try to deplatform you. So I told him, I said, listen, it might come a time that YouTube, I've seen this before. Nigga, I stopped covering Ray Rice the moment I had a commentary about the Ray Rice situation that wasn't in line with what the mainstream everybody talking points was. And I realized, YouTube itself took action on anybody who wasn't on that talking point. Don't think because YouTube is having a real glory time right now, and this is what I was trying to tell him. I said, don't think that YouTube won't be like, this is making too much noise. Too many people are upset about it. We're going to start issuing strikes. We're going to silence this. So I do agree with that.
Yeah, that's the only thing they got to worry about.
But also,
I think that's a major worry. Major worry.
It's like these niggas is charlatans, bro.
What do you mean?
Bro, it's just your own personal opinion, bro.
I mean, you heard Fresh's response talking about he got a white dog. Like, it's not even funny. It's on. He's on coonery.
That was definitely an attempt to the joke. That was an attempt to the joke. You can't hold him like too.
Yeah, bro. Like, come on, man.
That shows you the type of nigga that is corny, bro.
You know what's crazy? I think they said all this for the attention of it because I think they love the attention that they getting now, even if it's bad or good.
Nah, facts.
Hold on. All right, so let me. I'll rephrase the question because I seen someone just typed it in the chat. I think, in a sense, some people, while they might not agree with everything they're saying, and maybe there's somebody who like loves black women, whose preference and if they could rank whatever is black women, but they're saying, you know what, I'm not gonna go against Fresh and Fit because in a way they are challenging cancel culture. I'm gonna be honest. We might not want to accept it. We accept it when it's Dave Chappelle, but I'm pretty sure the LGBTQ community thinks fuck this nigga, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think what they're doing is challenging cancel culture. If anybody who's in the industry, when you have something to lose, before you get to where Fresh and Fit is at now, you back down. Everybody does. They're doubling down. I've never seen this shit before. They're doubling down. I didn't play the whole clip. I didn't play the whole clip, but they were on the show with the guy right before the other guy came on, the Shabazz guy. They were on for an hour. There was no apologies made. They were doubling down. And I look at that and I'm like, I don't know if they realize it, but even if somebody was sincere for the most part in mainstream culture, they back down. You start thinking about career, you start thinking about your livelihood, you back down. They're doubling down. In a sense, you could say maybe they're getting at cancel culture. Basically saying we don't give a fuck. What do you guys think about that?
Yo, honestly, I think like these niggas just don't care no more. Like they're just sticking to like what their fans want because their fans are egging them on to keep going. And honestly, all they do is just listen to their fans, so they're just gonna keep applying pressure, like regardless of what happens.
Until YouTube hit that smackaroonie, bro. If you look at YouTube alignment, bro, they have all these Black hero messages, campaigns, and stuff. I just see from a business standpoint, it don't seem like a viable idea to go against Black culture being a black face.
I agree.
Yeah,
it's just kind of asinine and backwards to fight against the whole culture. And again, the main reason anybody black knows who the fuck these two niggas is because of you, Ak. You're gonna keep it a thou wow.
Wait, what? No.
Nah. I heard about them before. No. Like, not gonna lie. Before,
yeah, I'm gonna be honest.
Not gonna lie, I heard about them before too.
Yeah, they were bubbling. Now I'm gonna be honest. Like, you could probably say I'm one of the reasons why maybe they have been visible in maybe more than the sphere they're in. So in like whatever pop culture, hip hop culture, okay, but like they were kind of popular. They're still popular. You know, like shit. You can't say they only go viral for me. That's what I remember. A lot of people hit me like, yo, Ak, man, you on the show. Every time you on the show, it's like viral, blah, blah, blah. Now there's a gun, blah, blah, whatever the case is. Man, they're going viral by their goddamn self. Like, it looks like they're fucking just shaking the table, my nigga.
That's a fact, man. Don't let these niggas boost your head up, bro.
Yo, Ak.
What up?
Like, I feel like they deviated from where they first started because I used to follow them like when they were way smaller, bro. And like at first they were giving good advice and like kind of like genuine content, but like as they grew, like they kind of like got their
They
heads,
just
like the
became
heads got big, like
controversial.
their heads got big. They switched to the content a little bit, like they became like more like into causing
Like who?
trouble than actually doing good things.
More like who? Let's be real, bro. More like who?
You said what?
More like who?
Like they became like not like a certain person, but like they became like more like to the negative instead of actually helping people like they do. Like they'll be
Trying to
like
act like
egging on, starting
2016 Act
beefs,
and AJ.
making like
Come on,
viral
thank
moments
you,
and
bro.
stuff.
Come on, nigga.
They act like
Like these viral
2016
moments, bro.
Act and AJ, bro.
I'm gonna be
Like,
honest.
let's
Oh
be
yeah.
honest.
I'm gonna be honest.
They act
Yo,
like 2016 Act and AJ.
no,
That's what they act like.
Nah, that's facts, bro.
Say
That's
These
Aiden
facts.
Ross in
niggas.
the chat.
Like you can't deny either, bro.
Nah, I think
Nah,
they've
nah,
grown.
nah, 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 nah. I'm gonna have to step in on that one. 2016, we weren't doing all that, bro.
Bro,
We weren't doing that.
Yeah,
But they taking it
hold
to the
on.
next
Yeah,
level,
all right,
though.
okay. Here's the thing. So 2016, of course, we brought women on, and like obviously, Hard on Thoughts, whatever. You know what I mean? And a lot of times it was just like, yo, yeah, we're not down with whores type shit, right? Play this. The reason why I won't take credit for it is like, bro, they have whole philosophies. Like it's like okay, imagine you fucking like maybe you contributed one part, like you contributed a horn and they built a car. You can't say you built a car. Like nigga, the fuck? Like they when I'm listening to these motherfuckers now, they're quoting each other. Like I'm Googling, I'm like, who the fuck is Rolo Tomasi? Who the fuck is this? Like they got whole fucking they've built this shit out. You get what I mean? So
Yeah.
like here's the thing though, and somebody just said it, is like what I think Fresh and Fit is, I think it's the somebody said the 6ix9ine podcast, it's Jerry Springer. And honestly, I think people are always gonna be triggered until people stop getting triggered. We're gonna have something to talk about.
It's entertainment, bro.
Facts. They just cause viral moments, bro. Like they kick girls out on purpose, like shit like that, bro.
Yeah, well, I ain't gonna lie. Well, and I've told him, I'm like, yo, listen, y'all got to figure out where y'all want to land. You know what I mean? I personally think they have different landing points now. But I think Fresh is gonna come around. I think Myron is perfect where he's at. I don't think he's trying to grow. I think Myron realizes this niche he could almost become the king of. And I don't know if this is possible, but maybe becoming another Kevin Samuels or even more extreme. I think Fresh wants to take this and maybe some of the celebrity aspects of it explore. You get what I
Couldn't
mean?
have said it better, bro.
But when I listen to Myron, that nigga's just doubling down. And I'm gonna be honest with you. If everybody been talking about same energy, you gotta keep it 100. They having the same energy. That nigga keep the same energy. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't say nothing bad about Myron. That nigga keep the same energy.
That,
yo, that nigga was on with this dude right here, and I can show you this dude. Like after he left, he wasn't trying to hear nothing. Like because I guess fans was calling in, he wasn't trying to hear none of that shit. But when Myron's on the call, he was not like that. And this is his show. This guy right here.
Hey, that nigga do not change his facial expression for nothing. He just
Myron ain't black though. He like an Indian nigga though.
Nah, he black, bro. He's just African, bro.
Well, he from Sudan. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Indian nigga.
I heard his mom is black. Is that true?
I do want to point out that they have scummy behavior though for the guests they
do
on.
Bro, Myron can be confident as hell.
They bring on scammers. They bring on scammers who don't. They basically, when you scam your audience, that's why I fuck with you. When you push people to your audience who don't have their best interest and try to like get money, like shit like that, like they supposedly scam people for a party at their 100,000 subs little thing. Like they, you know what I'm saying? They just trying to get money from niggas. When you money hungry, you just you scummy. I don't like that. Like,
it was for a spot at a club in Miami.
That's why I fuck with you at, because you ain't never been like, hey, everybody buy this and been scummy to your audience. You just do your shit. Yeah. If you're a businessman and you just like like all this new NFT shit. Didn't you just post a story about Kim K and somebody else just got sued for
Mayweather.
Yeah, like niggas is being scummy, just pushing whatever for money.
I'm glad you even mentioned that because we can still talk about this, but I definitely want to throw this in the mix.